Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today I have my sweet thing with me because we are going to introduce a big project that we have been kind of teasing y'all about for the last, I don't know, couple weeks or so. And so today we are going to announce the project and go ahead and get started on the project, start ripping some ground, maybe start bringing in some dirt, lots of fun things. All right, so do you want to do the grand reveal?
No, yeah, I mean, we're gonna build us a nice size berm-ish planting bed. I don't even know how wide that thing is in its widest point, but it's
we'll measure it and then we'll put the measurements up there
30
for you.
30 foot wide or more, 100 and something feet long. We're standing at the bottom of it, the very tip of it. And then we're kind of standing in the area where we're going to leave a drive-through going through to our house and to the back of the yard. There will be a gate here. We're going to build a nice, you've probably seen in some of the videos at the top of the road there, it's like a split rail fence. And we're going to extend that through the woods and through the berm to the point of where this gate, and just kind of create a cool division area before the house and the nursery. And then also, I think it's going to create, I didn't even think about this until like the other day, a nice cool area for parking on like this side. We've always parked overflow to the right of me right now on the other side of the road going down to the nursery. This time gives us an option to have some parking over here. We're going to have to do some grading on this side of the berm so cars don't bottom out getting to
we don't want anybody to get stuck. But yes, so this berm, and we're not, I mean, berms can be raised up, I mean, different heights.
And we've seen them taller than us with plants on top of them, creating a massive barrier between a house and a road. Right. We're not necessarily doing that.
Right. It's going to be more of a little bit of a, I mean, we're definitely going to be bringing soil in and raising it up that way. So it's going to be fully planted. The split rail fence will go down the center of the flower bed and then berm, and then we'll plant on both sides.
Yeah, we wanted to, like, we thought about, like, well, do we just plant, you know, plants everywhere, right?
Right.
Which would have been fine, but Jenny really wanted like some architectural look to it, so that's why we're adding the fence.
Right. So the split rail fence, and we already do have it at the gate when you come in, so that will it'll all tie in together. Then we will have a functioning gate down here at the bottom. That way, when we have like soil deliveries or the equipment, the Kubota, Bobcats, whatever, they can get through here and get to the house. But this is going to be really fun, hopefully for y'all to watch too, and very inspirational, because we get so many customers asking about, this is kind of the scenario, right? I love my neighbors, but we like a little privacy between us and the neighbors. And while we are in the country and we don't have a lot of neighbors per se, we do have a business right off of our front porch. So that will give us a little bit of privacy too for our house, you know, separating from the nursery. But this will give you a lot, hopefully, of really great ideas of how you can incorporate on whatever scale it is for your house and maybe your, you know, property line between you and your neighbor.
We always have a customer that comes out and they want to create that screen.
Yes.
You know, and we're always to the tendency of, let's create a screen and let's use some Thuja Green Giants or some North Pole Arborvitaes or something like that.
Sure.
Let's just don't do it all that way. You know, so I think that's what we're trying to
because
show.
What will be in here, we will have trees, perennials, and shrubs. If I use annuals, it will be maybe like coleus or grasses until the other things get nice and big. But we're going to have a lot of fun, and my goal is from the very beginning was 4 seasons of interest. Like, I want to have something interesting structure-wise going on here all 4 seasons. So that is what we're going to do. Now today,
y'all have seen us do this, and I just want to go ahead and, you know, get this out of the way. Because you've seen us do grass and you've seen us do different beds in multiple different ways. And then there are multiple ways to do it.
Like to create a flower bed out of nothing.
I have gone to houses and created nice size beds with 12 to 18 inches of topsoil, and I have gone right over grass, you know, and drilled through, and it's everything.
No problem.
No problem.
Right.
We could have done that, but I think what we're going to do today, we've got the tractor and the ripper, and you've seen us use the ripper before, and it's like a subsoiler, really loosen up our clay through here, and it will break up in the grass. And I'm going to come back through here with a tiller on the tractor, and I'm just going to then chew up the grass and till everything under. We're done at that point with having to deal with the grass that is existing in my area that I have.
We're not going to physically remove the grass. We're just going to rip the soil and chop it up and leave that there.
Yeah, and I have time, because I'm building a berm. We're coming up in some areas pretty high. So like we've seen us do beds at the nursery in our trial beds areas where we just kind of scoop out all the grass real quick, bring in a nice fluffy soil full of compost material. That's because we're building a bed real fast and we just want to get it done. This one's not going to be this way, so it's going to be,
because we're bringing in soil.
In a massive amount of soil on top
to bring it up.
And then we're actually going to go back in and add a bulk amendment to that to enhance the growth of the plants that we're going to install. All the plants are not going to be installed at one time.
No.
You're not going to see it all in one video.
No.
You know, it's just going to be over the years and just over time.
I told Jerry when we started talking about this, my goal for this project before the holidays was to get the bed physically made, the fence in, the trees in, and then it will be on irrigation. And
then I think that'll be good because of the trees and some good things, and give that time for the compost material that we add into the soil, to give that soil some time to rest that they're bringing in for us. We're bringing in a nice screened dirt that it's not, field dirt, it's not a compost dirt, it's just a nice screened dirt to give us some bulk to frame out the bed, to build the bed out, and then we're going to add our compost material that we want to put in there that we're successful with.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take you to Jenny's secret stash of plants behind the garden shed. I'm going to show you the trees that we have, because we have all of the trees.
A few cool ones over there.
Yeah, some really cool ones over there. So we have the trees that are going to definitely go in for this fall, so I will show you those. And then stay tuned for lots of tractor work and equipment work and ripping up soil, because I know y'all will enjoy that.
Showing you that, and Jenny can talk about it and all that good stuff. So
Jerry can talk about it too.
Yeah, I'll be on the tractor.
But he does have a mic on. So I told somebody, I said, we need to do it like, we were just talking this weekend. You know how like the NFL, like when you watch games sometimes and they'll have like a coach or a player like mic'd up during the game, and they just forget that the microphone's on.
That'd be great.
And then they take those little clips.
Yeah,
that's what we need to do with Jerry. A day in the life at the nursery with Jerry mic'd up, and then clips. So you can be on the tractor and have your mic on. We can still hear you.
No problem.
No problem whatsoever.
No problem. Just use the editing software real well.
That's right.
Yeah.
You might hear a little hum of a tractor, a little Kubota.
Very good.
All right.
So you're going to go show them the plants?
Brenna and I will go show you the plants. She is underneath my feet. If you heard her panting, that is, her head is currently sticking out between my knees right now.
Yeah. We have a lot of things going on, like right now. This is just not one.
Yeah, this is...
We have multiple things happening.
You've been around Creekside, you know there's lots of things going on. So that's what we're going to go do. All right. Okay, so here we are behind the garden shed, where I'm going to show you some of the really fun trees that we're going to be incorporating into the berm. So stinking excited about this. And with the berm, the idea is not to create a solid screen of plants all the way across, like not a true living fence where you can't see through it. We still want it to be open because we love sitting on our porch and seeing the big views. So we're gonna have all sorts of different heights and colors and textures, but not just a mass planting of one plant all the way across that makes, this big, huge block of a view. So 2 of the trees that I have right here are, one, this is just the coolest pine ever. This is a thunderhead. It is a pinus, it is a pine. This is in a 15-gallon, but it has just really fun, unique structure to it. Being a pine, it will be an evergreen. You can see that it's starting to do like the little candles, as they say. Really neat structure to it. And because it is a pine, you will notice that some of the needles are turning a little bit yellow. Now that does not mean that the plant, you know, is dying or is in stress. This is the time of year where the pine trees drop their needles. So here it is, and it's just getting ready to drop some needles. Clearly it's very happy because it's got all sorts of good structure up here. I will put all the specs on the screen for you because honestly, I just cannot remember all the details right now off the top of my head. This one is going to go more up close to the wood line, so not to the creek side, but up on the wood line. Really fun. Cannot wait for this guy. I have a sweet friend, Miss Kathy, who is an amazing gardener, just 10 minutes down the road from me. And she says this one does great. Sometimes we have to worry about evergreens here in our area, but this one does great. And then I have to incorporate the Temple of Bloom. Such a fun structure. And technically it is a shrub, but it will eventually look like a tree. Remember, we saw this in maturity at Spring Meadow when we were there last week. So this is very much like a crepe myrtle type look to it, but it's different. So it is a multi-trunk tree shrub. You can see it already has a little bit of color to it. It'll put on white flowers that then turn red. Pollinators love it. Really excited to add this one in as well. And then we have to have, of course, some flowering trees, something of some spring interest. So let me show you what we have for that. Okay, so behind me I have 3 different types of trees that we're going to add into the berm. 2 of them are flowering and 1 is an evergreen. Now it is October, they are in containers, so they are starting to change color and drop their leaves. All is well. It's a perfect time to get these sweet things into the ground. So let me just show you what we have. First of all, the evergreens. You will see these are North Pole arborvitaes. These are from Proven Winners. They are going to be tall in the fact of like a, I believe it's like a 12-ish foot tall and about 3 to 4 feet wide, but just a beautiful evergreen. Will not get crazy tall like a Thuja green giant, but it'll have beautiful texture to it. It is very soft, really nice. We're going to put these in a mass planting closer to the creek side. So we will have those down there. Don't know the exact number. Once we start planting, then we will know, and once I see the bed, that will help some. Then we have right here, you will notice the green. So I've got 2 of them. I've got one here and then the yellow in the back. These are cherry trees. These are going to be the Yoshino cherry trees. Gorgeous spring color. You can see that we are starting to get a little bit of some like yellow and red to it, but this is of course those flowering cherry trees. They do not produce cherries. It is an ornamental cherry tree. We'll get nice and big structure to it over time, but massive flowers in the spring. Really fun. And then next, tall one over here with the nice burgundy leaves. It started dropping its leaves a little, I don't know, about a week or so ago. So this is the Thunder Cloud Plum. So it is a flowering plum tree as well, but it has that beautiful dark burgundy foliage to it. All of these are going to be obviously full sun plants because that berm is going to be in sun from sun up to sundown basically. And all of these plants can handle that really nice intense sun. So the Thunder Cloud, and I always have to think for a minute because I have a thunder head and I have a thunder cloud, and trying to remember which one's the cloud and which one's the head. Anyway, I have to stop and think for a minute. But I have all those specs up there for you, so if you're interested in those, you can contact your local garden center. I know for us, this is not something we keep on stock all the time, but we can easily order it for people. So if you're local and you're interested, just let us know and we can place an order for you. But I'm thinking that the Thunder Cloud is going to go more in the center and then be flanked on each side by the Yoshino, because we will have that nice, beautiful spring color with all of those, and then the evergreens from the North Poles and the Thunder Head. That will be really nice. And then of course we're going to have lots of shrubs and perennials in there. I've started making my list of ones that I want to use, but we haven't actually decided exactly like on numbers and exactly where we're going to go in the berm on that. Once we actually get it formed, then I can start to say, okay, well, you're going to go here and you're going to go there. That's the beautiful thing about this project, is it doesn't have to be done all at once. We can sit on it for a little bit and think about it, get the trees in, let them get established, and then go from there. So without further ado, let's go visit back to Jerry and start moving some dirt. I'm ready to see some dirt being ripped. It's gonna be so much fun. I love that smell. Maybe because I'm a country girl from North Carolina, but I love the smell of freshly tilled, plowed soil with that little bit of diesel from the tractor. Such fond memories as a kid. Maybe I'm weird. If you understand, maybe you understand. If you don't, that's okay. It's a great smell that brings up fond childhood memories. So there we go. All right, I've rambled enough. We're gonna go check on Jerry. Okay, so Jerry has got the whole area ripped with we call it the ripper, but what else did you call it? A subsoiler?
Well, it's mainly a ripper. Some people, subsoiler is more like a one shank. This has got, I don't know, 7 of them. 7 of them,
yep. Yeah. Because, the main purpose that we did this was to break up this soil. Makes it easier when you come back with the tiller.
Yeah, you just all you got to do is just come through one good time and just rip it one good time, and then come back with your tiller or whatever you're doing, and then it's ready to go.
Excellent. Yeah. And again, because we are going to be building this up and putting lots of good, not only kind of not topsoil, what would you call it? Fill dirt? Screened.
No, it's screened.
It's screened, so it's not going to be a bunch of junky stuff, right? It's not going to be junky stuff, and then we will then come back with our, final enriched, composted soil and put on there.
Yeah, really at this point right here, we could go ahead and just bring in the screen dirt, and it has somewhere for it to lock into.
Sure.
And just leave it the way it is, but I'm wanting to just kind of chop up the grass real good, and then
right.
And I'm also going to go ahead and start working it.
Yep. So you're going to start building it up, and but this really gives you an idea of the size now of it, because you can see really, the space and the color difference and everything. But we have had people ask us before. If we put filters on our videos when our soil is concerned, and no, this is the actual color of our soil. So when I say we have red clay soil, it is that beautiful red clay. It can be interesting to deal with if you've never had it before, but it really holds water nicely. It holds nutrients nicely. We don't have to worry about leaching. Sometimes you just have to worry about it getting too wet and your dog running through you. But other than that, so Jerry is going to go ahead and get the tiller put onto the back of the tractor, and then get this broken up even a little bit more.
Yep.
So Jerry just got the phone call that we have 2 loads of soil coming our way. They are headed our direction, so that is very exciting that we will be able to get that in, and he should be able to get it spread out today. Brenna is having the most fun playing with her stick, and all of her humans are home, so she's having a great time. Can you tell we enjoy fall around here? We're just all outside enjoying it, ripping up dirt, making garden plans. It's all so much fun. So before we know it, hopefully those 2 trucks will be here with that great screen soil. Okay, my friends, so for today we have wrapped up the project. We got those 2 nice loads of screen soil, and it's nice. I mean,
Yep.
it is.
It's good stuff.
It is very clean. There is yeah. I mean, there's no rocks. Nice soil. So it'll be great. What size trucks for those? I mean, I know they were.
They're quads axles.
Yeah.
So you get a regular old tandem, which is just 2 wheels in the rear. It's 4 wheels, but 1 axle.
Right, but how much loads is that? How much soil? How many tons?
A quad could probably hold 20 tons.
So basically Jerry didn't. I mean, he kind of smoothed it out, but then again he also didn't. And we really like how it's raised back over here.
Hard to see, but maybe.
It is hard to see. Let's see if we can. Let me move the camera here a little. Well, let's see. You're in there. There you go. Yeah. So we were sitting on the front porch having our afternoon coffee, and had Jackson out here pretending he was a tree, standing up. But it was here. Let's switch.
Yeah.
You're on the top of the hill. There we go. And so you got to put the shorty on the hill and the tall one down the hill. But yeah, it was looking really good. So originally Jerry and Josh had determined that we needed 8 truckloads. Mm-hmm. So we had 2 today, so that means 6 more. It's gonna be somewhere around there.
Yeah, it's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll be close.
It'll be close.
Yeah.
It'll be close.
It fools you. That's a big spot right there.
It is a big spot, and the one that's up top, closer to the driveway is not as raised up.
No, not at all.
So when you're talking about berms, I mean, this is this is a nice little mounded raised bed. Because we have been to berms, the gardens that have berms, that the berm is as tall as us, and then they have trees on top of that.
Right.
So, yeah, but it definitely needs it to have that raised up area. So it's all gonna go well. This is just gonna be the first of very many videos and projects on this. We will keep you updated as it goes on. But like I said, my main goal for this fall was the bed, the fence, the trees, you know, the main bones, the structure of it. And Jerry and I were talking, is like, once we get, you know, at least the fence in and kind of the trees placed, then I'm more of a visual person, so then I can see and begin planning what's going to go where. We have ideas of the plants we want to use, we just don't know exactly where they're going to go.
Yeah,
so it's going to be how many.
We haven't planned that far ahead.
No, I just kind of have a running plant list in my head, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so
we just kind of decided on the shape and size that we wanted to kind of deal with.
Right.
I think this is sufficient in size.
I think so. Well, and then when you add the more soil up, I think length and breadth is plenty. I mean, I suppose you could always add to it later if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Width-wise.
Width-wise, maybe go a little further that way if you wanted to in the back. It'll be easier.
Well,
it's more of a straight line in the back, and then we have a nice curve coming down through the front just to add a little interest.
Right. Well, if we're going to use this for parking, and then you have a road right there, so
yeah,
space is limited.
Yes, it is.
Alrighty, so it is getting late. The sun is going down. I'm getting chilly. It feels fantastic, and we're going to go in and get showers and supper.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, we'll see y'all in the next video. As always, thanks so much for gardening with Creekside. Bye, friends.